Hi, I'm Andy the Kenworth Guy. Thanks for taking the time to come by and watch this video today, where we're going to help you keep your new truck running. As you may know, new trucks come with a complex emission system called selective catalytic reduction, coupled with diesel particulate filters. These technologies are designed to help clean the exhaust before it goes out the tailpipe and achieve the aggressive goals set by the EPA. First, let's take a minute to go over the terms. We have SCR, which is selective catalytic reduction. We have DPF, which is diesel particulate filter. And we have DEF, which is diesel exhaust fluid. Depending on the year of truck that you have will determine which system you will have. Here's a graphic of the current system that is installed on PACCAR and Cummins engines. It's a single canister unit. Previous installations shown in this graphic here is a 3-piece unit. The initial installation in 2007 was just a diesel particulate filter. Here's the 2010 emission system shown. The front part is the diesel particulate filter. The part in the middle is the decomposition reactor. The back part here is the SCR catalyst, or selective catalytic reduction. Exhaust enters the diesel particulate filter over a catalyst into a wall flow filter. Carbon particles are contained in the filter. Nitrous oxide in the exhaust gas is converted to nitrogen dioxide in the diesel oxidation catalyst. As the nitrogen dioxide flows through the wall flow filter, it reacts with the carbon to produce carbon dioxide. As the exhaust passes out of the particulate filter, diesel exhaust fluid is misted into the exhaust flow. When heated by the hot exhaust, the diesel exhaust fluid converts to ammonia. Together, the ammonia and NOx flow into the SCR catalyst, chemically reacting into nitrogen and water vapor, reducing the emissions to near zero levels. There's different forms that you can purchase DEF in. You can buy the jugs. You can also purchase it at the DEF pumps, at the fuel station, or your business may even have their own totes. Some things you want to keep in mind is you want to keep the nozzle where you're filling up your DEF clean. You also want to avoid using DEF that's contaminated. So if you're using jugs but you're refilling them, that's not a great idea. You can get contaminants inside the DEF jugs, which would go into your tank and cause problems. So you want to make sure that you clean your pipe, your tip off here. When you're taking the cap off of these jugs, this one is already has been opened, but there is a protective plastic piece that goes on top here. You want to peel that off and put it in your pocket. What we've found in some cases, we found that peel inside the truck DEF tank. How does that happen? Guys will take off the cap and they'll push the protective plastic piece inside the tank. So you want to avoid doing that. Put the cap on here and you go to fill up your DEF tank. A good tip when filling up your diesel exhaust fluid is to make sure that all around the cap here, it's nice and clean. You don't have any road debris, salt, snow, or anything like that. So you give this a half turn, pull it off, just make sure that this area is clean. Because if it's not, debris can get into the tank and cause problems. You then take your diesel exhaust fluid, put it in, and fill up your tank. There are different types of DEF tank locations. This one here is under the side fairing. This one here is on the side of the frame, sometimes on driver or passenger side. Let's take a look at the different indicator lamps on the truck. Here is the malfunction indicator lamp. check engine lamp, stop engine lamp, diesel exhaust fluid icon, high exhaust system temperature, and DPF status. Now I'd like to take a few minutes to show you what happens when you start running out of DEF. So here is your diesel exhaust fluid gauge. So what happens when you start running out of diesel exhaust fluid? Let's take a look. If you are above 10%, no indicator lamps will be on and there will be no power loss. If you're less than 10%, you still have no power loss. However, you'll have a solid light on the diesel exhaust fluid gauge and a reminder to fill up with diesel exhaust fluid. If you're less than 5%, you still have no power loss. The indicator lamp will be flashing and a reminder to refill with diesel exhaust fluid. If you have less than 2.5% of DEF in your tank, you will experience a 25% torque derate along with a flashing diesel exhaust fluid gauge, a check engine light, and a reminder to refill your DEF tank. If you empty the tank of DEF, you'll have a 40% torque derate at 1% per minute. You'll have the mill light, the check engine light, the diesel exhaust fluid indicator lamp, and a reminder to refill with diesel exhaust fluid. If you shut the truck off, refuel your truck, or idle the truck for more than 1 hour with your DEF tank empty, you will experience a full derate at 5 miles per hour with all indicator lamps illuminated. Now let's take a look at the diesel particulate filter. Here is the high exhaust system temperature light. This light will be on after the truck has gone through a regen. It's just a warning, no driver action is required. Here the DPF light is indicated, showing that the filter is plugged. You need to do a passive regen or a parked regen. A passive regen is going down the highway for 20 minutes under a heavy load, working the truck and causing the filter to get cleaned out. The alternative way to do a regen is a parked regen, putting the truck in park, shutting everything off, and holding the switch down for 5 to 10 seconds until the RPMs start ramping up. The RPMs will increase to approximately 14 or 1500 and it will stay there for the time that the regen is going on. When the regen is completed, the RPMs will go back down to the last setting of 600 or 700 RPMs. If you fail to address the DPF light, you will advance to stage 2. This could take between 4 and 6 hours to advance to the next stage. The correcting action would be to do a parked regen by holding the switch down or doing a passive regen by driving down the highway for 20 minutes under a heavy load. If you still continue to ignore the flashing DPF light, you will advance to stage 3. In stage 3, the light will be flashing along with a check engine light on. At this point, there is no passive regen possible, meaning you cannot do a regen while driving. You need to put the truck in park when safe and hold the switch down until the RPMs ramp up to do a parked regen. If you've entered stage 4, the check engine light, DPF light, and stop engine light will be on. The only correcting action will be to have the truck towed to the nearest dealer where a forced regen will have to be performed on the truck by hooking up a computer to the engine. Possible damage to the DPF and turbo could have occurred. This is a non-warrantable failure. Here's a short list of do's and don'ts in regards to the emission system on your new truck. Thanks for taking the time to learn about the emission system on your new truck. If you'd like to see more videos, subscribe to my channel.